How's it going, everybody? It's time for another King Arthur Legends Rise video, and today, my friends, we're going to be talking about who I think is the most impactful character, especially in the early game, especially for free-to-play players, and that is going to be the legendary character you get for free for pre-registering and for doing the early campaign, Morgan. Morgan is an absolute unit. She's not a damage dealer. She is an insane debuffer, controller, and she really elevates your character. So in this video, I want to talk about the best gear set for her, the best stats for her, why you need to invest your early endgame resources into her ASAP, and then we'll show her in action, because she's pretty spectacular what she does, right? So this is Morgan Le Fay, and honestly, my Bedivere is my most invested in character. He's got the 6 purple stars, so he's got all his keepsakes. He does tremendous damage, but without Morgan, he would still hit kind of like a wet noodle. And that's important. So let's talk about why Morgan needs to have the vigor set and the accuracy set to do that sort of buff to Bedivere, or to whoever your big damage dealer is. So the vigor set is going to increase the amount of vigor she generates on turn, which effectively lets her spam her A2 ability. When we get to the abilities, we'll see why that is so important, okay? But this is the most important set on her, followed by the accuracy set, because again, once we look at her abilities, we're going to see like she is effectively needing to land these debuffs on every single one of her turns. Every single one of her turns, she's going to be doing something with debuffs or something with stripping buffs, and that is incredibly important. As far as stats go, 100 billion% this character needs to be your fastest character on the field. You'll see I have as much attack speed on this character as I could possibly get. Don't have any there. We have some here. And on the ring, you 100% need to make sure this is your main stat. Same with your orb. You want to make sure that that is your main stat, hopefully higher than 3 stars, because if she doesn't go first, it will mess with the mojo of your opening attacks, and a lot of your characters are going to have extra damage on their opening attack, and you don't want that to be wasted. The second most important stat for her is going to be effect accuracy on your necklace. You'll want to aim for that to be your main stat. I believe it can also be on your belt, I think. If there's effect resistance, then there is effect accuracy as well. So you definitely want, yeah, there it is right there. Effect accuracy on the belt. You want to aim for that as well. In fact, this belt, even lower star level, might be better for me. I'll have to play around with it a little bit later. So that's the most important thing, guys. Vigor plus accuracy set, attack speed plus effect accuracy. Stack those as high as you can. Make sure she's your fastest character. In fact, when we get to the gameplay, I'm going to show you the difference between this character being the fastest at 187, I have her here, and going after our big damage dealer. You see Bedivere here at 192. That's not a good setup. All right, but we'll get there when we get to the gameplay. So let's talk about her actual skills. Now, this is her passive skills. So in her first passive skill, the Veil of Night, I actually don't really think this is so crazy. I mean, it is nice. When attacking while current HP is 50% or lower, 100% chance to change the weather to night, 100% chance to gain effect accuracy increase 3. I don't actually need that because I have so much effect accuracy on the character. And for the rest of the battle, as long as the weather is night, 100% chance to gain attack speed increase 3 for the rest of the battle, again, as long as the weather is night. I find I kind of win or lose in the opening attacks of a match, and this doesn't play too big a role. But the next stuff does. So her second passive, Maligning Vortex. This is going to make it when you use her second skill, reduce the target's attack gauge by 35%. And it'll remove 2 buffs from the target. This is originally a 4-turn cooldown. Once we get it maxed out, and we do want to rush that, it'll be a 2-turn cooldown. So every 3rd turn, she will reduce the target's attack gauge by, this is going to become 45%, and that is an insane control effect. You can't display, or downplay rather, the effect of turn meter in a turn-based game. And that is going to work amazing when we get to her 3rd passive, which I'm just going to kind of say what it does. It is a huge debuff to the enemy's defense. So defense decrease and damage taken increase 2 and 3. And until you have these levels in it, it is again a 3-turn cooldown. And instead of putting these debuffs on for 2 turns, it only puts it on for 1 turn. So you want to race to get this stuff leveled up as quickly as possible. So let's talk about how you can level it up. Well, you need these talismans. You get these talismans from the Master of Death boss. Now, the problem with that is that this boss in particular, it doesn't build up. You need the legendary talismans immediately. And you don't start getting the legendary talismans until difficulty 5. Now, it's not the hardest boss to beat. And once you get your levels to 60, get some awakened stuff, get some keepsakes, change your stats around, it's not going to be very difficult to unlock these. But there are other avenues in which you can get some of those talismans early on. The most prominent of which is going to be the adventure mode. So once we get, I believe, to chapter 4, the final goal, if you 100% this adventure mode, is going to be these talismans. And then for chapter 5, we can get another 5 here. Chapter 6, we start getting 7. Chapter 8, another 7. I mean, by here, though, the difficulty is a lot higher. We're going to need kind of evolved characters at that point. But this is a great avenue to get some early talismans. Besides that, of course, you have offers. I don't want to preach too much about offers and stuff like that, though. In those adventure modes, by the way, you'll pick up some here and there as well. And, of course, events and this, that, and the other. You'll get those talismans. So just make sure you're racing your serpent talismans onto Morgan Le Fay and her skills, because they're crazy. And they coincide so perfectly with her relics abilities as well. So let's go talk about the relics. You will start with the fire element for your Morgan. And what this does, it just really matters about her A2 ability. Or ability 2, skill 2, whatever you want to call it. This costs 2 vigor, which is why we have the vigor set on her. And it has a 60% chance to decrease target's attack gauge by 10%. Normally it's a 50% chance, but I did get, fortunately this morning, I got 1 level into it. And by the time we get up to level 5, it'll have a 70% chance to decrease target's attack gauge by 10% with every attack, right? So this could be a total of a 30% decrease to the enemies. That's really, really impactful in a turn-based game. Can't downplay that. And this will also be applying defense down if we have that skill leveled, and if we have chivalry on our Morgan. I know chivalry is kind of a faux pas word. You don't really like that word because that's kind of a whale word, but we'll talk about how you can get her chivalried higher without having to spend any money. Besides that, like, you really do just want to get the A2 skills. You see, unfortunately, I got so many points into the A3 and even 1 into the A1 here. When I'm actually playing the game and I'm not on farm mode, I do use this A3 ability sometimes because it can inflict the recovery destruct if I need that for the bear boss. And it can also do damage taken increase 2 for 2 turns when her passive that we just showed is on cooldown. So how do we level these skills up, right? Well, just like the passive skills, we're going to need these legendary tomes now. And we get those from the Master Apocalypse. This is the Crom Qua boss. And this one is a lot more difficult to unlock the legendary inputs here. I believe, again, it's on difficulty 5. Now, hopefully, yeah, difficulty 5. Hopefully you got Guinevere, because that does kind of trivialize it, and you should be able to get difficulty 5 without too much issue. But I wouldn't worry about leveling the skills just yet. Focus more on the passives and getting her gear set up properly, and then having a damage character go with her. And that's going to open up a lot of doors for you. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the chivalry, because I kind of buried the lead. On the skill up, I believe it is... Which one is it here? Is this one. So this says, when using a skill. So anytime she does any ability, she'll do these defense decrease, damage taken increase. But that is only because I got her to chivalry level 3. This changes the Squall of Thorns, which is the ability we just looked at, activation condition, to when attacking. Before you get this unlocked, it's only when she does her basic ability does she apply those defense downs. It sucks that you can't spam A2 if you don't have her chivalry, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't use her A1 every once in a while that passive is up to get that damage increase on the enemies. Because it is so much more impactful than, say, like I have the Frost Relic for Morgan. I can show you that. I have the Frost Relic for Morgan. The A2 ability does a damage taken increase too. Well, this is only half of what that passive does. Whenever it was available, I would switch over and I would use the basic here to get that extra damage taken on the enemies. Okay, so that's kind of how you need to build Morgan. You really want to race that gear set onto her, those skill upgrades on her, and those relic upgrades onto her as soon as possible, as well as the awakened ability to get her keepsakes going, because there is that very powerful attack speed on the orb that we want to lean into. With that said, done a lot of talking. Let's go do some fighting. All right, guys. So the Tiger is a boss that I have obviously absolutely been just struggle busting with so much. I do not even have the ability to farm the legendary awakened materials here because I just couldn't get through it. Well, I've upgraded my Morgan since the last time I pushed this boss, and I'm super interested to see if she's going to have the effect I want. This boss needs turn meter rewind. This boss wants to get blown up as fast as possible because the damage is crazy and you can't turn meter rewind it forever. So let's go in here. I'm going to go with this team, my Bedivere, my Jillian, my Morgan, of course, and then my Tristan. So the first thing you're going to notice, this is not good. My Tristan going first is a bad thing because watch what happens here. We talked about this a little bit. The passive of Tristan pops off on his first attack. Same with Bedivere. Bedivere is going to have his extra attack happen at the same time here. See, and we're not hitting into any sort of defense down. Morgan is now going to go, do a nice turn meter rewind, strip some buffs, and we see the damage taken increase, come up on the boss, but this is far too late in the match, right? At this point, I'm going to have issues. I don't have the right damage coming from Tristan. I don't have the right damage coming from Bedivere. Sure, this is going to do good damage now, but I'm missing almost half of Tristan's attack here. That second part just didn't occur, right? And now you see the Tiger went again, cleared those debuffs, and now Bedivere is not hitting anything. So this is the example of having a really bad setup. I'm going to go fix the speed on the character and just keep an eye on the damage bar here. Let's see what happens when I fix Morgan's speed and how she elevates the team. All right, so we're going to head back in now, and I just want to give full disclosure. I actively nerfed my Bedivere and my Tristan just to kind of get by with getting their speed below Morgan in a faster, easier way. So Tiger goes first here. Morgan, you see, is going first. She's going to apply the defense down to the Tiger here. And now Tristan is going to get to go. And look at the damage difference right away. This is crazy. Now Bedivere lands his abilities. Look at that. Look at the difference. And we didn't even get the passive attack from Bedivere to double up on the Tiger. It is an absolutely phenomenal difference. And now I should be able to keep the boss rewound and get another defense down on the boss before too long. All right, here we go. And we'll strip some of these buffs off. Oh, I'm not on the right spec. I'm not on the frost spec. I'm on the fire spec. We're rewinding the boss. Let's get some more rewinds out there. Get my Tristan his speed up. I've literally not beaten this boss, and since I got her to Chivalry 3 and upgraded some of her skills, I'm dumpstering him right now. All right, we lost our Bedivere. Unfortunate. Here, let's go ahead and do one of these. Some good damage there. We'll rewind the boss again. Our passive was active, so we got to do though, but he cleared it. Unfortunate. Another turn meter rewind. Do a buff clear. Here we go. Well, I thought it was going to be prettier than this, but I couldn't even clear it before, so I'm not going to complain. I can now effectively farm the legendary material. I lied. I went too fast. Oh no! Better than dying in the opening turns, I guess. Here we go. Oh, the miss. Oh, but the passive into the defense down. All right. Obviously, I have a lot of work to do on that boss still. I still got to set things up better. But this is an amazing, amazing start. I can actually get the boss down and farm this material now if I'm so inclined. That's fantastic. Let's go look at another boss that Morgan absolutely sets up for. And this is going to be a much better display of the damage difference because we're not going to have our Bedivere hitting into his weakness. All right, the Master of the Apocalypse is another boss that I've kind of been staying clear of just because I wasn't meeting certain damage checks. Curious to see if the Morgan is going to really change things up this time. Now, I don't think you can rewind this boss. So I'm instead going to use the Frost aspect to help me peel off buffs. And we're going to not have Tristan here because we do want some immunity. So I got my Merlin standing in. You can see this is why I was kind of eyeing that unity, because I do have a lot of Frost characters when I play it out. And then we have Gwen. She's here because she stops the Crom eating us right away. Could RNG my way through it, I guess, but we'll just do it like this. See, Gwen, she's gone. All right, so let's get a good defense down on the boss here. Look at all those nests and watch. Only one target. Let's see Bedivere's damage now. Oh my god. Right away, like 30% of the boss's life just gone. Just absolutely gone. And now you can really see the benefit of having those passives, because instead of it being a 4-turn cooldown until we can do that damage again, it's going to be a 2-turn cooldown until we can do it again. Because obviously this fight is going to be a long, sustained fight. There we go. We keep going. Love these defense downs that we're hitting into. You know what? I'll get a little bit of barrier from my Gwen here. She can also do a damage decrease, but we already have that. All right, his passive is up. Let's watch his damage again. Boom! Boom! Oh, I love it. Benefit, he would not hit for half of that, by the way, if I didn't have Morgan on the field. Another thing we didn't talk about that Morgan's really good at is her special. Because it hits multiple times, it makes her really good for, like, the boar boss or breaking certain barrier limits. There's a lot this character brings to the field. Look at that barrier damage. Woo-wee! I think he's going to be the next raid up, guys, so keep your eyes out for that. All right, phase 2. Let's see if we can do it. This is where it's going to get spicy for sure. Passive is not available. This is why I kind of like the frost aspect, because I'll get defense down no matter what. Although, if I had the fire one, I would just use her A3 instead. Yeah, Bedivere kind of wasted his attack there. Yeah, you know, we still have enough vigor that I'm comfortable using her special. Give myself a little bit of a barrier. Alright, his passive is not available yet. Yeah, he just did it. What am I talking about? Alright, some decent damage still. Her passive is also not available yet. Oh, we got some misses. That's not good. Alright, let's keep this show going. Alright, her passive is now available. Unfortunately, the boss is going to take a turn almost immediately. Got the debuffs, but did take a turn. Bedivere passive is up. We really need him to kind of deal some damage here to save us. And he actually, you know, we didn't get the greatest RNG there. He attacked the other heads. I need my Gwyn to give me energy instead. Pop this again. Maybe Merlin's not the best here. Maybe we can go back to using Tristan and see if he can help carry the damage a little bit. Oh, you know what? Bedivere popped off there. That was a good crit. So here's a great example of Morgan helping hit that the turns enough for us. Here, do one of these. There we go. Merlin, another underrated character at breaking barrier. See how great that was. All right, we got a double hit here. That was a waste, though, because he had a big damage decrease, right? Yeah, that's not good. Morgan's up, though, so Morgan's going to increase the damage this boss takes a lot while he's charging up his, you know, get effed ability that he's about to do to us. All right. Bedivere, unfortunately, did waste his, though, so I wonder... Oh, my God! That's all because of Morgan's damage increase that she put out there. I spoke too soon! Morgan debuffs absolutely carried me to another difficulty beat on Crom here. Fantastic. And we got books. I guess I'll use to level Tristan. I don't like the green books. I want more red books from Morgan. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you kind of see what I'm trying to illustrate here. Try and get those early resources onto your Morgan as quickly as possible, especially the chivalry. That's kind of like whale talk, right? Because you need to actually pull the character to get that. You only get one free copy. But you should note there are some things going on right now in the game, some events that'll help you get there faster. Crystal consumption. With your early game crystals, try and get 8,000 spent on there. Maybe unlock Merlin. You just saw the benefits I had there, though the Guinevere banner is objectively better with Bedivere in there. And if you spend the 8,000 crystals, you get a full 20 of the legendary Master Memory Stones. This will let you put one chivalry on there. After that, we talked about the adventure mode a little bit. You'll be able to get some from completing the chapters there as well. I believe it's 5 for chapter 6. 5. So 5 and 6 give you 5. Chapter 7 gives you 10. Chapter 8 gives you 10. But we're starting to get super late game stuff here. And there is also a store. I forget which store it is that has it. Is it the clan store? No. Is it the arena store? It's one of these stores. No, this is a special summoning ticket. There's one of these stores. It's the Forbidden Store. I really wish they had a store tab in this game. That's my biggest gripe with the game right now, by the way. Is there's no... God, is there an easier way to find this? This would be great to put in the video if I can find an easier way to find it. No. It's in one of the stores. I can't remember. Special shops? What? Okay, Forbidden Dungeon. Is this it here? There we go. So it is in the Forbidden Dungeon. You can see I've already gotten 4 of them. I will definitely be buying more of these because, I mean, upgrading these legendary characters to Chivalry 3, Chivalry, I believe it's 6, then 8, really brings them into their own. So there you go. The Forbidden Dungeon shop you can use to get some of those legendary Master Stones as well. Or if you go hard on her on the Guinevere event, you can get this too. I have not farmed this event at all because I just don't find the resources to be that appealing. If this was a legendary Serpent Talisman, we'd be talking about that. Legendary Tome Chest, Selection Chest, it's actually not bad. I like that. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. But from now, from me to you, have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everybody. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.